Hello, and welcome to Million Labs. Today we're going to talk to Simon about signups and logins. Let's get started. Simon, one of the first things you often need to do when building an app is to sign up new users. Can you walk us through an example or provide us with some tips on how to build signups and logins?
Bubble comes with a built-in reusable element called sign up/login pop-up. So that's from day one. And you can drag and drop that onto any page you like. So if you've got a login page or it's on your home page or whatever, it's a standard kind of login box. So you can build your own login page from scratch, or you can just use Bubbles. So if I go grab Bubbles here, I go down to the reusable elements and I select it like this, and then I just drag and drop it in, and that will then bring it in. Now, this particular one here, I've upgraded or added more fields into the login sign up process. So yours will just have email and password probably, but I've added full name, in this case, a Twitter name, a company name, an image, accept the terms and conditions, etc. into this one. So I've just made it a bit more elaborate. You can access this reusable element by going to your pages here, and then down the bottom is your reusable elements. It's kind of quite faint there, but that says reusable elements, and you'll be able to see your sign up and login pop up down there. And if you click it, it opens like a page. So now I can edit this just like I could a normal page. So I can update my reusable elements here, and then everywhere it gets used, because it might be on multiple pages, it gets updated in all those other places. So reusable elements are great for things that you're going to use. You want exactly the same thing to be used across multiple pages, and you don't want to build it on each of those pages. You just want to build it once and share it effectively. So that's what, and a login pop-up, the header, the footer, are classic examples of that, where it's going to be, you want the header to be the same on every page. So you just build it as a reusable element, and Bubble comes with them standard, like header and footer as reusable elements. And then you can just drop it onto your new pages as you go. Sign up page group, if I just down here, and then if I hide this, I've got a login group that's hidden. And then I've got a password reset group that's also hidden. And it defaults to sign up. But if I click the or login button, it runs a little workflow that actually sets a state, but don't worry about that. But basically just shows the login group instead, so that you can switch between the two. So you can go between login and sign up and login. Or if I've on login, I've got reset my password or forgot password. Click that, and that will show the little reset password group, or pop up as it is in this case. Relatively simple. And these are just inputs. So this is an input for email of content format type of email. This one's a password of content format password. And what that will do is, because you've told it it's a password, it will put the stars in as they type. And with the email, it knows it's an email address. So if it doesn't have an at and a dot something, it will say this isn't a valid email. So it does a little bit of checking for you. It won't check that the email exists, but it will check the format of the email is correct, so that somebody's entering a proper email address in, as it were, or the correct format. So when we're on the sign up and we click the sign up button, we can look at the workflow behind that sign up button. We have some specific account sign up flows that are already built into Bubbles. So if I click here to add an action, your first menu item is called account. And you've got a bunch of stuff that you can do that are specific to like user accounts here. So sign the user up is the first one there. So we can select that. And immediately I get a property box. And it says the minimum it requires is email and password. So all I can do, that's easy. I just put input email sign-ups value. So whatever they put in that email box. And then the password, I'll have the password from the sign up, etc. as well. That's bare minimum. That would just sign a user up. So I could use that and that would sign a user up. No problem. Right. So I can now add an email address. So if I put Simon plus test at Million Labs, and I put in a password and I confirm my password there, I'm going to ignore all the other stuff because I'm not using it, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to click sign up. I must have some checks on it. There we go. Look, I've already used test. So that's a kind of bubble standard message. It will check that that email address doesn't already exist in the user table. So if it does, obviously I better have used sign up test 2 as well. Hang on. Test 3, do you think? Test 3. Right, there we go. Test 3. Great. So that action has signed up and created me a user account with that password. So let's just go check. We go to data, go to users, and there we go. There's that new user signed up there. So you can see it. It's got no other details because I didn't ask for any other details, but literally it's the email. You can't see the passwords. Nobody can see the passwords, basically. If someone's forgotten a password, they have to go through the reset password process. You can't do that for them. They have to do it, etc. So there's no that. The clever thing that you do have is this run as. So I can run as that user by clicking run as, and that will basically log me in as that user. I never see the password. I never use the password, but effectively that's what it's doing. It's putting in that email address and that password for me. Bubble's doing it for me. And then it will load up the whatever page that you're on, logged in as that user. So I did it earlier for a customer who said, I can't see this in my view. So I was like, okay. And I just went and logged in as them. And I went, yeah, you're right, you can't. There's something wrong with the data, I'll go fix it. But, rather than going, it works for me, because a lot of stuff later on will be around their user profile, and what they can see and access is very specific to that user. So it's really handy to be able to run as that user to see what's going on and see that it is working, particularly when you've got different user types. You might have a buyer, a supplier, a company, whatever. You want to be able to run as a different type of user so you can see what they're seeing, checking that it's working from their point of view. So yeah, basically we just logged on, we signed up as a user, nice and easy. The log on, once we've got an account, is almost identical. So if I go back to the sign up login reusable element here, we just look at the login button. So here's it, email and password. You then click the login button. So when I click the login button, what happens? It runs a workflow, and we go to account. The second one down is log the user in. So we select log the user in. All it needs is an email and a password, and that will then log that user in. So in this case, I've got a whole bunch of rubbish in here, so I'm just going to delete it. There we go, log the user in. So if I go back to my login page, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a text box on the screen here, big text box, and I'm going to say current user's email. Because I just want to show you that it's logging me in. So you'll see now, I'll refresh this page. Actually, I'll be logged in already. So I think this will show my email address straight away, because when you sign a user up, it signs the user up and it logs them in. Yeah, you can see, can you see that there? Look, you can see how I'm logged in here. So let's log me out. And the only real way to log me out is actually to run a process that is the log out process. So I'm just going to do that, log out. So I can go account and then log the user out is the fourth one down. And there is no parameters for it. It literally just logs the user out. So I can just rerun this. Just click the log out button. This email address here should go blank when I do this. Boom, gone. I'm now logged out. Yeah. Just refresh the page again, so it'll pull that pop-up back up, and we'll log in. So I'm going to go to login. So Simon plus test3 at millionlabs.co.uk, and then test, I think was the password, right? And then click login. Boom, logged in, and you can see email addresses come back at the top there, proving that I'm logged in. So relatively simple, because most of the process is already built into Bubble for you. So there's not a lot you have to do. You just need to decide, well, what do I want it to look like? You know, if you go to something in a drop-down menu or a button that says log in or sign up or something like that on the top menu, and then I can click in, log in here or sign up. That's typical. But you decide where you want it.
Thanks for the explanation, Simon. You now know how to use sign up and login elements that Bubble has already created to create your own. Congrats!